Okay. When you want me to start, let me know. Okay.
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 Yeah, Febroza will give speech first, Dr. Wasan.
Ah,
Fighting, Fat Brosa.
Okay, should we start? Rival? Hello, Mas?
Can
Okay.
we wait 2, 3 minutes, 2, 3 minutes
Okay.
before? Yeah.
Okay.
purpose, we build with pace. From dreams to pitch, we're taking flight. ImpactSEA is built to shine bright.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So yeah, hi, Changemakers, and welcome to the final session of our webinar series under ImpactSEA. So I'm Febroza, and I will be your host for this evening. So yeah, it's been such an inspiring journey together. We are thrilled to close this series on a high note tonight. So, as usual, let's kick things off by checking the energy in the room. So, if you are excited and ready, please type 111 in the chat box. Go! Ooh, okay. Okay, so before we begin our seminar, here are a few quick reminders. The first, this session is being recorded for documentation and also learning purposes under ImpactSEA. And also, please stay mute during the speaker's presentation to minimize background noise. So don't worry, you will have the chance to speak during the Q&A session later. And if you have any questions during the talk, feel free to drop them in the chat box. And don't forget to rename your Zoom name to country_name. For example, Indonesia_Rosa for easy identification. Okay. So today we are honored to be joined by distinguished speaker, Associate Professor Dr. Wasan Sakulkijkarn from the Faculty of Business Administration for Society, Srinakharinwirot University, Bangkok, Thailand. So yeah, Dr. Wasan is highly respected Thai academic and practitioner specializing in social business, leadership, and public-private sector management. So with over a decade of experience across academia and also industry, he is an accredited social return on investment practitioner and has earned international awards for this work in innovation, research, community development. So including gold medals for coconut-based product inventions. So his commitment to driving social impact truly bridges theory and practice. So now, without further ado, please join me in warmly welcoming our speaker, Dr. Wasan. The floor is yours.
สวัสดีครับ Glad to see all of the Changemakers today. Very glad to be here and to support you. What is the SROI? Let me share my screen first. This one. Oop, 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 oop. Okay. Everyone can see my screen? Okay, good. Okay, I love this topic a lot, Social ROI, learn to measure and maximize your impact. Normally, we call SROI. In business, we know very well about ROI, return on investment. When you return something, you have to get something back, But for social, when you do something, many people here, many change makers here, I know that you do many activity, you do many projects. But how do you know that is maximize your impact your country or not? It impact your world or not? You have to calculate, you have to measure, you have to make it numbers. So in business, we have ROI. But for social, we have SROI. As maybe you can call me Wasan or Dr. K. Q&A, you can ask me more questions about that. I will explain you about this methodology, this method. You will be able to maximize your impact on your project in the futures. Okay. Before we go to calculate SROI, let me introduction to SROI first, that everyone will know what is SROI. Actually, SROI is a methodology to measure the social, environmental, and economic value. We have to know the value, what we do for the elderly, for the poor people, for the environment. So if we cannot measure, how do you know that it's good or not? In business, ask you if your country have the angel investor, they want to know, they want to invest about your project, they want to give you the money. But if you don't measure your activity, you never ever measure at all. how can they invest the money to you? So this one very important that you have to measure the project, what you have done before. And this thing created by organization or project, it can be the organization, right? Social enterprise in Thailand, we all do the SROI. We ask for the, like me, to measure for them. Or if you have a project, you can calculate or you can measure as well. The other thing, extend beyond traditional financial ROI to include non-financial benefit. This one very important. When you do for the social, sometimes it's non-financial benefit. So that's why we have to know how much is it, what you have done for them. The other thing that I want to let you know, why is SROI important? We talk about SROI for many, many years. When I am the professor here, I work for the Srinakharinwirot for 10 years. When I start the first year, I have to learn about SROI. Because I teach about social enterprise, I have to teach my students how to measure SROI. The first thing, when I teach my students, I provide the common language. Everyone in this world know about SROI. We communicate the same thing. We communicate the value to stakeholder. This word stakeholder is so important. You do for them. You have to know who is your stakeholders. Stakeholders sometimes it's beneficiary, If you don't know your beneficiary or your stakeholder, you don't know how to do with them, you have to support them, how to support the socials. That's why SROI provide common language. Everyone in this world know. This one, SROI, is so important nowadays, Every country, even in Thailand, we talk about SROI a lot, but a few people can measure SROI. A few people, I mean, just 100 or 200 only. So that's why this important thing for you. If you be able to measure SROI or measure impact, it's very good for when you do the project. You can measure them properly. The other thing, to inform decision making or resource allocation. This is very important when you do the next project. When you know the number, when you know SROI, return on investment, when you do for the social, you can making decision that is good to do to go on, or you don't even want to do anymore, or you want resource allocation, how much resource, how much money you want to invest for this project. This one, if you don't have SROI, you cannot make the decision making. You cannot do the resource allocation. And this impact is so important. We talk about sustainable value. We have three things. We have social value form, we have environmental value form, and we have economic value form. For social value form, we talk about equality and diversity. We talk about well-being, community development, secure livelihood, labor standard, health and safety, or so on. But how do you measure this one? For economic, economic value is easy. You have profit. You have ROI, return on investment. You have financial resistance. You have long-term viability. We have business stability. You have financial maturity to calculate. But social, we also have SROI. But this thing can make your project better. It's not only social, we have environmental as well. Renewable resource, low emission, low waste, biodiversity, population invention, air, water, or land. If you know the way to do that, you can communicate. You can let your angel investor know how much you do for the societies. Key principle of SROI. As I told you, stakeholder is the most important. So you have to involve stakeholders. Whoever for this project, you have to involve them all. You have to know this beneficiary or not, this stakeholder get something from you, or this one didn't get from you, but is concerned about your project. You have to figure it out. You have to assign in the SROI. More important thing, you have to understand what changed for them. What changed for them? If nothing changed, your project is not working. If not change at all. It's not change at all. You have done but not change. How you know change? You have to calculate. Am I right? You have to calculate SROI because SROI will tell you how is it. If you don't do SROI, how do you know how change is it? So involve stakeholder. Stakeholder is the first one that you have to know who are your beneficiary. Second, understand what change. Identify or significant outcome. This is important as well. When you do something, you have to know how change is it. What is the significant? You have to identify. But this thing, you have to ask. You have to make the questionnaire. You have to see by your own eyes. If you cannot do that, how can you understand how change is it? Identify or significant outcome. I will talk about this thing later. The third, value the thing that matters. This one, monetize outcome to show diverse. This one is very important for SROI. Everything you have done for society, you have make it to money. You must make it to number. You must make it the value. How much you have done for how much you have done for elderly. If your project, you make your elderly have a better life. They don't go to hospital. This is money, you have to calculate this thing. Fourth, only include what the material, focus on relevant information. This one is very important as well. We have many things about our project, but it's not concern your project, you cut it out. Do not overclaim, many like SROI practitioner like me, I like to overclaim something. Maybe, you do many changes in your country. You will overclaim what this is my project. I have done this thing for the society. We have done this thing for the development, but we cannot overclaim this one. Attribute only the portion change to the intervention. This one I will explain more. But you have to claim only what you have done for your society. Be transparent, document the process and assumption. Everything you have to have evidence. The document can show you what you do, the process, what you have done. And the last one, you have to verify the result, ensure accuracy and reliability. When you do SROI, you must have someone to check for you this SROI is correct or not. You have the company who's expert in SROI to check everything that you have the process for you, what you have done for SROI. In Thailand, we have like the company. When I have done the SROI, I have to send this report and let them check is correct or not. So when you do SROI, you need somebody else to check for you. The other thing, I want to talk about SROI framework or SROI process. We have 6 processes that we have to do today. And I will explain you very clearly about these 6 processes. First one, establish scope or identify a stakeholder. That's why I told you stakeholder is very important for SROI. Next, you have to map outcome or theory of change. I don't focus on theory of change, but I will let you know what is a theory of change. Next one, evident outcome. Evidence is very important. You have to show them what outcome can occur. Give them a value. So you make elderly, as I told you, you make elderly better life. You have to give them the value. How much is it? You have to have evidence. Next, establish impact. From this topic, we talk about impact. But how much do you understand about impact? You ask yourself, you have done for many society, you have many projects, but what is impact? If your impact not change anything, it's not impact. If your impact change someone, have better life, change development. Okay, you can call impact, impact is mean change something better in long term. If it change, okay, it change, but it's short term, it's not impact. Impact have something that you have done and let them live by themselves to make them have the better life forever or whatever of 2 or 3 years. But we call impact. So change maker, you have to know impact very well. You have to understand impact. You have to understand what you have done for society. When you establish the impact, you have to calculate the SROI. That I'm gonna teach you. I have the easy one and the difficult one. And the last one, you have to report, use the embrace the SROI. Okay. We go step 1 first, establish scope and identify stakeholders. This one very important. You have to analyze first what is your project, what is your organization, what is your policies. Because you had a project, you have to write down, my project is health. My organization, we are the social enterprise. We help. We help environment. We help social. We help elderly. We help the poor people. What is a policy? Maybe you are the company. You have the policy. You have to do something. You have to do CSR. You have to analyze first. What is the project? What is your project? What does your organization do? Or what is your policy? And SROI, we have to have time frame. Actually, 1 year, maybe 2 or 3 years. You have to calculate, not only 1 year, but for me, it's okay. I will teach you just 1 year, what you have done. You have to see what the outcome. So 1 year is okay. You can know it's gonna happen, it's change or not. What is the impact? And the last thing, what resources are involved? Because SROI is the same ROI. You have to spend money. You have to spend something. Maybe it's not money. So resources, maybe human, maybe money, maybe budget, maybe something that you have done for this project. You have to put your resources in this SROI as well. For the scope, identify stakeholders. When you identify stakeholders, the first one who is affected by the intervention. If who is not affected, you don't need to put in your report. So that's why who is your beneficiaries? Who influence the intervention? You have to identify. That's why it's so important, because intervention, what have you done for the social, you have to influence. And the third thing, you have to prioritize key stakeholder for the analysis. For the third thing, if you know who is stakeholder, who is to analysis, it's okay, you can put them in your report. So that's why you have to prioritize first. Key stakeholder. Who is not key stakeholder, you don't need to put it. But some report, from other company, maybe they put a stakeholder as well. They put other stakeholder in the report, but they don't analyze it that. Step 2, mapping outcome or theory of change. What you have to do, you have to developing the theory of change. What is theory of change? It's a logical, we have the process. It's a logical framework that shows how input lead to output, outcome, and impact. This thing we call SIA, Social Impact Assessment. Maybe you know this one very well. Theory of change, sometimes we call SIA because we have we have input, we have output, we have outcome, we have impact. We have to separate table, you to know that what you have done, what you have input, what you have in output, what you have in outcome, what you have in impact. And you have to visual representation of causal relationship. because input will concern about the activity, will lead output, will go to outcome, and will go to impact. So in your visual representation, representation is make you more understand, make you understand better. Let me show you this thing that is make you understand more. Key component for each thing. Input is a resources invested in the intervention or in the project. You have to put all the resources that make project done. You have to put activities, action taken as part of intervention. What you have done, what you have to, what you're gonna do. But normally, I want to tell you that SROI when will do after your project is done. But some company, they want to know about the future plan. They do their future we call expected SROI as well. You can do that, but normally we don't do that. Expected SROI in the futures. Output, direct product or service delivers. You have done for the society. You have done for the environment. You have to have or what maybe product or service or what you have done for the people that you do. Outcome, change experienced by stakeholders. This one you have to ask stakeholder what change, how change. If not change, it's not outcome. Because outcome is so important for stakeholder. They're the one, they are the beneficiary. They know how change is. In SROI, if nothing change, we cannot do anything. So if you want to do SROI, maybe you have to ask, maybe you have to do the interview, maybe you have to make the question, ask the stakeholder, how change is it? And the last one, impact. As I told you, the overall long-term change only, not short-term. So that's why SROI maybe 1 year. You have to do after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. But you have to do this project every year. And you have to see how change is it. That's why we call long-term change. It's a long-term change. That means the beneficiary or stakeholder get the experience how change is it. They get the benefit from what you have done for them. So impact, we have like social impact. We have like environmental impact. We have like economic impact. Whatever impact, must be long-term change. If short-term change is okay, if you want to do SROI, I don't mind. But long-term change, you will see how change is it. Because stakeholder will ask, maybe stakeholder, they don't know, just short-term change, But next year, it's going to be the same. You find a job for the stakeholders. You help the poor people. But next year, you don't do anything, they become poor again. What's going to happen? That's why the project or your intervention is useless, Theory of change. Sometimes, I like that. I visualize like this, I like funding. I like input. I like about activities. I like outcome. I put immediate outcome. And I like impact. So this thing you have to put in your report. Maybe you have 2 projects. You have to compare about these 2 projects. It's good also. If you know which project is good, you have to calculate SROI. Maybe project A is better than project B. Maybe project B is better than project A. But if you don't calculate, if you don't measure SROI, you don't know. You not even know which project is better than other project. You have to calculate SROI only. But before you do SROI, you have to put input first. How much money, funding, or whatever in input. What activity you have done? What output you get from activity? What outcome? What impact? And the most important thing, you have to drive mission statement. When you get impact, you have to tell yourself what mission, what I'm going to do next. Mission is your life. Mission, what you have to do for the futures. No mission, no program. No mission, no life, no change. For the change maker, we think about mission a lot, What we going to do for the future, what we going to do for the societies. When you get impact, you change, you have a long-term change, you have to drive your mission more and more. Maybe I just I give you a sample of superwoman projects. Input for me, supporting women who are domestic violence survivors. Your activities, counseling, crisis support, emotional training, attend class, learn new skill, learn about the internship, prepare to be intern. Supporting women, maybe you give the money. Maybe someone give you the money or may budget or money for train the violence survivor or the woman who got this thing. When you do the activity, you have to show output. Maybe your activity can lead to output, And definitely, if you do the good activity or correct activity, they must have output. They must have output. Maybe you have the counseling, crisis support, emotional training. The survivor obtain coping skill. They have a skill to work. When you give them attend classes, learn new skill, learn about internship, prepare to be intern, the survivor are able to get job in internship. This one we call output, What you have done is lead to output. What you have done, what activity you have done for them, you have to lead to output. And output have to lead to outcome. They will got long-term employment in liable works for domestic violence survivors. And impact, impact, they get instant income is a long term. If they don't get instant income, so it's not impact, it's not long-term at all. You cannot drive the mission at all. So that's why I explained you about the process that is very important for SROI. That's why I explain you how important about the impact, why impact can drive the mission. But the most important thing, must be long-term change. Constant income is a long-term change. That's why you can measure your impact. You can calculate your SROI. If not instant income or short-term income, you cannot do anything. Maybe you have to change your project. That's why SROI can tell you this project is work or not. SROI, when you do it work or not, you will see from the number that you calculate. If you write down only this, no one knows. Even the business, even the investor, angel investor, I don't know that you know this word now. Angel investor who want to help the society, but want to invest, to invest, not invest, to want to invest the money for your company or your project. But you have nothing to show them. How can they support you? They know only, you have done the instant income. But how much? How change is it? Investor would like to know the numbers. $1 you do for the society, how much is it? The other thing, second sample, improving the quality of general education in Ethiopia. Input funding, okay, money. Funding for general education quality improvement. You give money. You make the quality education quality improvement better. You have to be able to write down the activities. New textbook, okay, I have to invest money. I have new textbook. We get grants, teaching training, we have the school planning, we have partner support, we have government support, we have information system. And what is activity leads to output? You have to write down output as well. Okay, what we have done for new textbook, grant, teacher training, school planning. Oh, it's make output like increased education qualities. For partner support, government support, or information system can increase external support. Whatever may be external government, another company can support this thing. And these two output can lead to outcome. Teacher have skill and resources to help students learn. And impact, improve learning outcome is very long term, Sometimes you get funding. You do many activities, but it's not long term. If you cannot improve learning outcome, if your teacher have no skill and resources to help students, how can make the impact for your societies? That's why theory of change. That's why this activity, this method is so important. Sometimes we call SIA, social impact assessment. You have to be able to write down this thing in your report. This one will show you the process for you. Your process is complete or not. Listen to me. If you don't do SIA, if you don't do a theory of change, you don't know what process, every activity you have done yet. You are done or everything that yet. You have to put the information in every step. You have to know how much input you have done for this project. You have to write down activities. You have to write down what activity lead to output or output lead to outcome. What is the impact of long-term change? And you can drive your vision. So, step 3, evidencing outcome and giving them a value. More difficult. Evidencing outcome, this thing, you have to collecting the data. You cannot imagine. Many, my students also, they imagine about the outcome. They think that, okay, they get this thing, they get their life is better. Okay, I maybe I don't need to collecting the data. I just imagine. But for SROI, you cannot imagine. You have to collecting the data to show the outcome have occurred or have happened. What you have done, you have to have data. You have to show the outcome. No outcome, no SROI. No outcome, no change. So you have to collecting data. What data you have? Collect everything. Maybe you ask them. Let them do questionnaire. Or maybe you just go to that place and see by your own eyes how change is it. That's why outcome is very important for SROI. Using qualitative or quantitative data, you have to ask them, you have to let them do the questionnaire. And the last thing, identifying indicators to measure change. I make it indicator. That's why indicator, very important to measure change. If you don't have indicator, you don't know how change is it, right? That's why indicator is come from the outcome that you have done. This indicator, you have to ask the people, you have to ask the beneficiary, you have to ask the stakeholders. No indicator, you don't know about the change. Indicator to measure the change. I have a sample for you. Sample 1, outcome, increase employability of disadvantaged youth. Indicator, number of youth who complete the training program. percentage of youth who obtain employment within 6 months of program completion, average income of employee youth post program. And you see indicator, everything must be number, percentage, average income must be the number, because we have to measure change, we must have the number that have occurs. You know outcome, you have to know indicators. You increase employability of these advantages, you know how change is it. You have to put the indicator as well. Second example, improve quality of life for elderly citizens. You must have indicator as well. Increase in self-report well-being score. Score is number, right? Decrease in the number of hospitalizations is also a number. Number of elderly citizens participating in social activities, also the numbers. You have outcome, but how do you know the indicator? You have to think with your group, because indicator can show how good of your outcome. As I told you, no indicators, no outcome. Indicator is so important for outcome. You write down outcome, you must show how change is it in numbers. Third sample. Outcome. Reduction in carbon emission, maybe you do for the development. Maybe like garbage or whatever, you grow the trees, or you do for the environmental things. Indicator, ton of carbon dioxide emission reduced, number. Percentage of energy consumption from renewable sources, number, percentage. Number of tree planted, number. Now you can understand me well. Why indicator is so important for outcome. Only outcome, you cannot calculate. You cannot measurement. You cannot measure the SROI. You must have the numbers. Reduction in carbon emission, you must know indicator, ton of carbon reduced, percent of energy consumption, number of tree planted. Know this number, no outcome. The other thing, valuing outcome is still step 3, valuing outcome, assigning monetary value to outcome. You have to have, like, use a financial proxy. This one very, very difficult. I want to tell you, financial proxy, when your project do for elderly, they don't go to hospital. You must make the financial proxy how much for the elderly. If your project done for them, their health is better. You have to identify how much that elderly need not to spend to go to hospital. We call financial proxy when market value unreliable. Market value, you buy the bottom of water, it's 5 baht, 10 baht, 10 peso or whatever. But financial proxy is something that unavailable. You cannot make the value for this thing. You have to think about that. You have to calculate about the financial proxy. Common method for the financial proxy, cost saving, willingness to pay or replacement cost. Example I will give you. Here's some example of value financial proxy can be assigned to outcome. For example, cost living, if a program help people reduce their hospital visit, don't need to go to hospital because the project make my health better, make me better. I don't need to go to the hospital. The cost saving to the healthcare system can be calculated and assigned as a monetary value. Have you got it? If your program If your project help people reduce their hospital visit, don't need to go to hospital. Cost saving to the healthcare system must be calculated and assigned as the mandatory values. You have to ask the elderly, you have to ask the people. Okay, normally when you go to the hospital, how much you have to pay? You cannot imagine by yourself. Oh, if you have the information, it's okay. If you have the information, you know that this elderly, these people, this disability, they normally spend about 100 baht per days. You can assign as the mandatory values. But if you don't know, you have to ask them. You have to ask that people how much they can reduce their hospitality visit. The cost saving, how much is it? The second, willingness to pay. Survey or market research can determine how much people are willing to pay for the particular outcome, such as access to the park or reduction to the population. If you don't drive your car, but you don't drive your own car, you take the public transportation. You can use as a monetary value to that outcome. You have to know that willing to pay is so important as well. You don't do anything to make the population worse. You have to assign. You buy the bicycle. You don't take your own car. You take the sky train, something like that. It can be the value of that outcome. Or the third thing, financial taxi, replacement cost. If a program provide a service that would otherwise have to be replaced by another service, the cost that replaced can be used as the monetary value. For example, if a job training program helps someone get a job, the cost of unemployment benefit would have to be paid, can be used as the monetary values. This is what we call replacement cost. For my idea, for my experience, financial proxy is so difficult. It's not so difficult. It's very difficult. It's the most difficult for doing SROI, because you have to you have to replacement cost. You have to think about the willingness to pay. You have to about the cost saving or whatever, because other project is different. Many projects you have done, you have different financial proxy. You have to think about this as well. And step 4, establishing impact. I have 4 things that you have to concern. When you do SROI, we have 4 conditions that you have to deduct from what you have done. For example, attribution. For the project, maybe, determining how much of outcome was caused by other intervention. Maybe someone do it, someone do the same. Maybe it's not because of you that people have a better life. You have to adjusting for other contributing factors. Maybe you have done this project, but the government also do this project as well in this society, in this province. You have to adjust it. Because you not only one do that, you have another factor do also. We call attribution. We have debt waste. Estimating what will have happened with our intervention. Anyway, we're gonna happen, You have to deduct the portion of outcome that would have occurred anyway. Even you don't do for the elderly, they will have the better life. They will have the better health. We call debt waste. So that's why you have to deduct the portion as well, deduct portion of outcome when you have to think about this as well. Displacement. Analyzing if the intervention caused negative impact elsewhere. Maybe what you have done will make the negative impact for the people. You have done for elderly, but maybe elderly, in your society they don't want that. They think that my life is good now. Why you have to do this project? It's not important at all. So we call displacement, cause negative impact. Maybe your stakeholder, they don't think that this one is good for them. And I remind you, I have done many projects, as a SROI practitioner, I have calculated, I have measured the impact many times. But sometimes you have to check your stakeholder first that what you're gonna do for them is good for them or not. They want it or not. They want this project or not. You cannot force them to do this project. You cannot push this project to them. But you have to think first, this project is important for the society or not. If they don't want, it's a negative impact. And the last one is drop off. Accounting for decline outcome over time, Maybe you do this project this year, but another years, the next year you didn't do that. We will have like a decline outcome over time. This condition for the SROI practitioner have to deduct what the project done. Maybe deduct from attribution, deduct for the death rate, deduct for displacement. I have a sample for you. Don't worry about that. I have also attached my PDF in the chat box as well. You can see my PDF. Step 5, calculating the SROI. This one is not difficult. We have the formula, SROI is like the present value of benefits minus present value of investment divide present value of investment. The easy one, I think this one is very easy. Net present value of social benefit divide investment. When you do the project, you have to have the investment. You have input, right? The input, that is investment. So when you interpret the SROI ratio, like a ratio of 3:1 means that for every $1 invest, $3 of social value is increased. This number is so important for angel investor. For the company you want for the funding, you have to show this number for them that what the project I have done for the society. I need the money because I have done very good thing for the society. If you help me, you support me, you give me the money, it can create social value better. So many people want this SROI ratio. Want this number a lot, $1 invest, 3 social value is increased. Step 6, you have to report, use, and invest. Reporting, you have to communicating the SROI finding. You don't tell only yourself, but you can tell your stakeholder how check is it. And stakeholder sometimes, it's the funders, who the government or society. Maybe they want to know about SROI, what you have done for them. The number, that can prove what you have done. The number that you calculate can prove what you have done. So that's why you have to communicate SROI finding to stakeholder and let them know how much project you have done for the society. What is your SROI that is doing for the society? You have to be able to communicate this thing. And the other thing, provide a clear, transparent report. Okay, before when you complete the SROI, maybe you have to have another company to check your SROI as well. That's why I have the SROI practitioner. I have to check. When someone send me SROI, I have to check every step is correct or not. Input is correct or not. Activity is correct or not. Output is correct or not. Outcome is correct or not. You calculate correct or not? So your SROI must be clear and must be transparent as well. Or using the results inform decision making or result that I told you. For next project, when you get the number from SROI, you will know that this project you want to go on or not. You want to go on or not, or you want to finish now. If your SROI is nothing, no return in investment, no social return in investment, maybe you have to think about this project again. I should go on or I should stop. Or how much resources I have to allocate. Maybe you have many projects, and this project is SROI is very little. And the other project is better, the number is good. So maybe you have to check, you have to know that resource is important. You have to put this resource to another project or not. And this thing improve the intervention. So I can make the improved intervention. Can make you how much you're gonna spend for this project. The third, embracing SROI, integrating SROI into organizational culture and process. This one, I want to tell you that for many countries in Thailand, for many company in Thailand, we do SROI and we show in website that how much we have done for the society, and we teach each other, how to do SROI for the juniors. Employee as well. We make the organization culture and process that everyone in the company can do SROI. Not only you, not only you, but other or your junior or your friend or whatever can be able to calculate SROI. It must be the organizational cultures. And making it a routine part of evaluating and planning. It must be, routine part. You have to evaluate, you have to measure. Okay, we go to SROI in practice case study one. This one very easy. When I have done when I have to done when I have to do the SROI, I have to write down like this. I have to make a table like this. For example, project this description. A local community garden project was established to address food insecurity and promote healthy eating habits. Oh, this project is very famous in Thailand. My stakeholder, I have to assign every stakeholder in my SROI. For example, gardeners 20s, individual participating in the gardening activities. Local resident 100 household benefiting from the garden produce across 10,000 people. 100 household maybe across 10,000 people. I have to, but this person, these persons is the beneficiary. So this one is very important. What you have done for them. Volunteering, maybe you. Individuals contributing time and labor to the garden. And the last one, local business. Donors, three businesses provide financial and in-kind support. No money. Am I right? No money, you can not do anything. Even you are the volunteer, you have to run your activity with the money as well. So input, gardener maybe you don't have input. Local resident, you don't have the input. But for volunteer, you spend about 200 hours contributed by community members. For the local business, financials, I made the latest $10,000 in funding from local business and grants, in kind, seed, tools, and land provided by local partners. So that's why local business give the money, or maybe in kind of something that can help the gardeners. Activities for the gardeners, garden maintenance, planting, watering, and weeding, contributing, provide fresh produce to local residents. For the local residents, if they don't have the activities, okay, you don't put it. For the volunteers, workshop, educational section on gardening and healthy eating is so important. Community event, organizing event to engage the communities. Output, what you have done, you have to lead activity to output. The gardener have the output like quantity of produce at 5,000 kilo of fresh fruit and vegetable harvested. Local resident, number of residents served 100 household receive the produce. Gardener they have the fresh fruit and the vegetable harvested. That's why the resident have the fresh fruit. That one. That's why we have about 100 household receive the produce. Volunteers, number of workshop, about 10 educational workshop conduct. Volunteer engagement, 200 volunteer hours. Outcome, for the gardener, increase access to fresh product, 80%. Number. We have the number now. 80% of resident household report increase vegetable consumption. For the local resident, improve dietary habits. 60% of residents report eating healthier foods, with the average increase up to serving of vegetable per week. For the volunteers, enhance community engagement, 200 volunteers hours contributed, and 5 community events held at the garden. Everything must be the number in output. And when you do output, you have to lead to impact. What you have done have to be the long-term change. The impact, improve health outcome, reduction in diet-related health issue, increase food security, greater access to nutrient food for vulnerable population, strengthen community cohesion, increase social interaction, and sense of belonging. When you have to do the impact for the social interaction, is so important. You make them engage, you make them work together. And this thing, when you do the communication engagement, you must make it to monetization values. When I have done SROI, I will separate this thing, in each table, stakeholders, inputs, activities, outputs, outcome, and impact. And remind you again, if you do only this, we call SIA, Social Impact Assessment. If you do only this thing, you just do SIA, Social Impact Assessment. You don't even calculate. If you calculate this project or this number, it's going to be SROI, social impact on investment. So this theory of change, again, SIA, social impact assessment, is good. If you can do this one, you can know what is your activity, what is your input, what is your output, what is your outcome, what is your impact. I think it's good as well if you can do this thing. And when you calculate this project, identify input first, quantify all resources invest in the project, financial, time, material, etc. As I show you the number, right? 10,000. This one, financial that they have give 10,000. You put a number here, 10,000 investment. Measure outcome, determine the change that occur as a result of the project. You have to monetize outcome. Assign monetary value to each outcome using appropriate method. Maybe cost saving, willingness to pay, proxy value, or whatever. In this case, we estimate, 2.5 per one invest for health outcome, and 1.5 for one invest for community cohesion. for the community cohesion must be transferred to number as well. Because you do the society, you make them love each other, you make them work together, you make the engagement. You must make them, you have to think, maybe you have to calculate as well. If they work together, how much it's going to be for this project? When you calculate the SROI, as I told you, total monetary outcome divides total investment. We have 10,000 people, right? We have, when you multiply, 10,000 multiply 2.5 is about 25,000 health outcome. Plus 1.5, multiply 10,000 people is 15,000 community cohesion. And divide 10,000 investment is 4 color 1 or 4 per 1. That means this project, you want to establish food insecurity. You want to promote healthy eating habits. This project can find, you can have the key finding, for everyone invest $1 invested, the garden generate 4 in social values. This number, 1 color 4, 1 per 4. Everyone want to know. Government, funders, angel investor, whoever concerned about to help the society want to know about SROI. If you do $1 invest, you can get back for the social value for $4. It's very, very good. I can confirm that it's very, very good, just $1, but you learn 4 in social value. The primary value of device for improved health outcome, then can get health outcome. With the estimate 2.5 per 1 invest attribute to increase asset to fresh produce and improve dietary habit. Community cohesion account for the remaining 1.5 per 1 invest, affecting the value of a community engagement or neighborhood beautifications. This is what you have done for the society. This is the number what you create for social value. How good is it? How good is it? You just remind yourself, if your project, if your company or whatever you have done, and you can calculate SROI or you can measure the impact. How good is it? How good is it? $1, but you can create $4 for social values. Listen, learn. Community, involvement is crucial or important for the project success. Utilizing local volunteer and business not only reduce cost, estimate might mean $5 in cost saving for volunteer labor, but also foster the sense of ownership and sustainability. It's not only the money, but they can send up the ownership and sustainability. The project must show this thing. And ongoing engagement with residents ensure the garden produce meet the need and maximize its impact. What you have done, you have to maximize the impact. And how you know you maximize it or not? It must come from SROI. No SROI, no maximize impact. No SROI, no maximize impact. Because they don't know, how much you do for the society, how impact you done for them. They don't know. You have to show the number. Harder, more difficult. Case study 2. A comprehensive job training and placement program for long-term unemployed individuals, aiming to equip them with in-demand skill and secure sustainable employment. Many countries I know that like this project a lot. That's why I plot the SROI for you. First thing, stakeholders. You have program participation, 50 long-term unemployed individuals seeking new skill and employment. You have employers, 10 local business actively hiring program graduates. You have government, local and regional government agency responsible for the unemployed benefit and economic development. You have program staff and volunteers, team member and delivering training, counseling, and support. And input, you have to put input, right? For the government, you have the government give you the money, 150,000 US dollar in grant from the foundation, government funding, and corporate sponsorship. Maybe they get from these three organizations: foundation, government, and the corporate. You got 150,000 US dollar. For program staff and volunteer, you have input staff time, 200 hours to pay staff time, trainer, counselors, administrative support value at 50,000. In-kind use of training facility value at 10,000. Software license for training value. Maybe you are the AI companies. Maybe you have the program and you can train the disability people. You can put in the input as well, like the software license or whatever, value 5,000 US dollar. And donate professional mentorship time, value at 5,000. Activities. You have only program staff volunteers, skill training for workshop, 10 intensive workshop, IT support, customer service, vocational trade, career development coaching, individualized section on resume building, interview technique, and job search strategy. You train them. You coach them. Job placement assistance, active matching of graduate with employer partner and job fair participation. Mentorship program, pairing participant with the industry professional for guidance and networking. Post-placement support, follow up with the graduate and employer for 6 months to ensure successful integration. That's the activity you have done for this program. Output, the program participant, number of participants at completion training, 45 out of 50 enroll. Number of job interview facilitated, 150, you write down how much you got. For employer, number of participants placed in job, 40 individuals. For the staff training, for the program staff and volunteers, total training hour daily 900 hours. Not finished yet, right? Just output. For outcome, increase for the program participant 50 long term, right? Increase employment 50. We got about 40 individual gain sustainable employment within 3 months of program completion. You have to think about indicator. That's why this one is more difficult. You have to think about indicator. Number of participants employed. Monetary proxy or financial proxy. Average annual salary. You have to think about how much they get per year. Salary for entry level position. Okay, they got the entry level position in the region. They get about 30 US dollar per year. You have to keep this number first. Initial value, 40 participants is 30,000 per year. And multiply 40 participants is about 1,200,000 US dollar over 1 year. Improve well-being and self-esteem. Participants report higher. You have to check them. You have to ask them, what you get from the salary, what you have get another thing. Maybe they report you, they got higher confidence, they got reduced stress because they get the job, You have to think about indicator. 40% of employed participants report the significant increase in self-esteem. Based on pre and post survey, you give them the questionnaire before you give them pre-survey first, and after that, then when they get a job, after 1 year, whatever you give the post survey, they think that, oh, I got the self-esteem. My self-esteem is better than last year's. When I didn't get a job, I don't have the self-esteem at all. But now, because of your program, it's made me self-esteem a lot, based on pre and post surveys. You cannot imagine. You have to check from the questionnaire. You have to ask them. You have to use the qualitative, qualitative method. Monetary proxy or financial proxy. Estimate value of similar personal development service. Maybe 500 US per participant, You have initial value 40 participants. Multiply 500 is about 20,000 US dollar. Improve well-being, self-esteem. You have to make it in money. You have to make it in numbers. You have to make it financial proxy. For employers, access to skill workforce. This one, employer as the beneficiary as well. Employer can fill open position with pre-screen and trained individuals. Indicator number of hire from the program. Monetary proxy. Estimate cost saving from reduced recruitment and onboarding time. If you work if you work as a HR staff, you have to spend a lot, to find out the right person. You have to post in internet. You have to do many things to get the right person to work with you. But this program, you can get a cost saving from reduced recruitment and onboarding time, 1,000 per hire. Initial value 40 hire, 40 people multiply 1,000 equal 40,000. Government reduce unemployment benefit. For individual no longer receive unemployment benefit. I don't know about my country, if you jobless, you didn't get anything. I think you don't get money. But for us, maybe if you jobless, maybe you get the money. The government pay for you. From this situation, 40 individuals no longer receive unemployment benefit. Indicators, number of participants of employment laws. Monetary proxy, average annual unemployment benefit per person that government have to pay you 10,000 per year. Initial value 40 participants multiply 10,000 per year. It's about 400,000 US dollar. Increase tax revenue. When they get the job, when they get the job, they have to pay tax, the government get the money. Employee individual contribute to income and sales tax, indicator estimate increase of tax contribution. Monetary proxy, estimate 50%. This one you have the information you can get from the government as well. That okay, if you have to pay for the income of sales tax is about 50%. 50% average salary for income and sales tax is about 30,000 multiplied 0.15 is about 4,500 per person. Initial value 40 participant is 4,500 per year. 40 participant multiply 4,500 US dollar is about 180 US dollar. So everything must be number.
It's me. I'm sorry, doctor. You
Yep.
have 2 minutes left to closing maybe because we
Oh,
have
really? Okay, I have to complete this one. Sorry about that. I didn't look at the time. Okay,
It's okay,
impact.
it's okay.
Okay, reduce long-term. This one, reduce long-term employment. Less in the community, increase economic productivity for the local purchasing power, enhance social inclusion, and reduce social welfare. Okay, when you calculate, identify total investment, financial income, value staff. What is 50,000, 10,000, 5,000, 50,000 is about 220,000. Calculate initial monetized outcome, employment, 1,200,000, well-being, 20,000, reduce unemployment, 400,000, increase tax revenue, 180,000, employer saving, 40,000. And this one is quite difficult because you have to adjustment from debt weight, attribution, and displacement. As I told you, debt weight is what would happen anyway. Maybe you have to think that even we don't have this project, we have to minus about 20% for the employment-related outcome. Some might have found job without the program. Attribution, another factor contributing. Maybe we think about 10% for all outcome. Economic growth. Maybe they get a job and then support service. Maybe they get a lot of this thing. Displacement, negative impact anyway. You have to think about maybe 5% you have to deduct for employment-related outcome. Some job filled by program graduate might have displaced another job seeker. So when you calculate, you have to adjust the value first. Okay, you have 1,200,000. You have to minus the debt weight 20%. You have to deduct the attribution 10%. You have to deduct the displacement about 5%. You will get about $820. As just well-being value 20,000, maybe because we have attribution, you may not 10%. It's about 18,000. As just reduce employment benefit, you deduct. We have 400,000. You deduct 20% debt weight, 10% attribution, 5% for displacement. You got $233. Increase tax value, deduct 20% debt weight, attribution 10%, and displacement 5%. You will get $120,000. And as just employer saving is about 40,000. You will get about $27. So when you calculate, you sum of all just outcome. 820, 18, 233, 123, 27. You will get about 1,262 something. When you calculate, you just total investment 220, and you get the outcome is 1,200 something. You just divide and you will get what this project done is $1. You get 5.74 social value that you create for this project. So this key finding for one invest in this job training and patient program, you will get 5.74 in social value increase. That's significant, It can make unemployment benefit payout for the government. And this thing, you have to make the SROI calculation. It's challenge for the project that you have done for the societies. And I have, at the moment, is 2025. Okay, I cannot complete all the slide, but I let you understand how to calculate this thing. And I hope that this SROI will benefit for all of you for the Changemaker today. And I hope that Changemaker can make the impact for society, can maximize your social value in your countries. Okay, I have to finish now. Thank you for listening and thank you for everything. And let me have the chance to have the presentation today. Thank you very much.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Wasan, for that insightful and inspiring presentation. So yeah, I was truly captivated by the content you share. Maybe like you mentioned earlier that you already provide the PowerPoint, right? Or the PDF. So maybe we can send it to the participants later.
PDF I have sent. I can send now if you want more. If you want.
Yes.
Let's see. SROI. Okay.
Okay, so you send it on the chat box,
The
right?
chat box. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so participants can access it.
Okay, done.
Wah, yeah, done. Okay, thank you. So now we would like to open the floor for the questions from our participants. So if you have a question, and feel free to unmute and drop it on the chat box, and let's get the discussion started. So yeah, we can find here some questions already mentioned by wait. Okay, first the question came from Imam Pesuwaryantoro. Maybe you can on the camera and unmute if you want to ask directly. Imam, please.
Let me stop share.
Hello,
Yes,
Professor Wasan.
yes.
Thank you so much for your insight and thank you so much for your knowledge. I think I have a question. So, short question.
Yep.
Could you explain more the different use SROI methodology and impact management project, social impact assessment, and also most significant change? Because
Yep.
as I know, SROI have a weakness methodology like
Uh,
subjective valuation of non-financial outcomes, data intensive and time consuming, may oversimplifying complex social change into a single numbers. Thank you so much for your time.
okay. You have impact you call IPM, right?
Yes,
Hello.
yes,
IPM.
Professor.
Actually, for the social impact assessment or SROI, this one is very well known all the country. For the method that you tell me at IMP, I'm not really sure about that, but I'm sure that in Thailand, especially in Thailand, we know SROI a lot. We contribute SROI for many projects. But I think for SROI, we have the step, and we have to monetize the value. So that's why we know how much that we invest and how much we get from the investment for the social that we invest. But for the idea, it's okay. I think it's if you think that weakness, I don't know that it's weakness or not, but you have to be able to calculate. In UK, we have UK for the project for the social entrepreneur UK. They have done SIA or SROI only. I never known about another project before that they use the another method. Do you have another question?
Okay,
Yes,
so
may I add insight, maybe some experience. So in our organization, we creating a plastic waste solution, how we can measure the economic
Mm-hmm.
impact, environmental impact, and also social governance. We use methodology GRI. What is GRI?
Mm-hmm.
Global Reporting Initiative. So GRI is a methodology that can measure the carbon footprint reduction and also give the
Mm-hmm.
economic impact. When
Mm-hmm.
people drop and collect the plastic bottle to our reverse
Mm-hmm.
vending machine, we give incentive economic, like
Mm-hmm.
one bottle equivalent 56 rupiah. And not only that, every people that bring the plastic bottle to our recycle
Mm-hmm.
vending machine, we give report like carbon footprint reduction, and also we can
Mm-hmm.
trade to the plastic credit and the carbon credit to the
Mm-hmm.
IDX carbon in Indonesia. I
Yep.
think it's just insight for me, ESG industry in Indonesia. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
your attention.
What about GLI that as you told me, can apply for another project for the like elderly, for the health, for the unemployment.
So GRI, we use GRI because in Indonesia, in ESG industry, we should measure the carbon footprint reduction like a plastic waste
Yep, yep.
to trade in our IDX carbon institution. Like
Mm-hmm.
when people responsible the plastic waste and the trees, we can trade the carbon credit to the IDX carbon.
I
So
got that.
we can measure not only the people responsible the waste, and also we measure the incentive economic. Like
Mm-hmm.
when people bring the plastic waste to our recycle vending machine, we give
Mm.
economic impact money.
Yep,
But after the plastic waste collect to our vending machine, we
yep.
also certify the project to the IDX carbon, like
Mm-hmm.
track the carbon credits.
Mm-hmm. I get to hear that, I want to learn about this method as well.
But thank you so much for your insight. I think I can more knowledge for the SROI and I can implementing to GRI methodology in my organization. Thank you so much, Professor.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Imam and Doctor. Another question coming from our change maker from Vietnam, Pong Din. Maybe Pong Din, you can ask directly to the doctor. Pong Din?
Hi.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Professor Watson.
Yep.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your knowledge and your sharing. You're so fascinating. I want to ask about the theory of change models, as I have researched a lot about the theory of change models, and some even like they also list out the short-term and mid-term outcomes along the side with the long-term outcomes. So my question is, should we also include the short-term and middle-term outcomes as well to like clarify our goals, or should we like exclude it because it could be complicated or time-consuming? Yeah, thank you.
For my idea, when you do like TOC or SIA or whatever, you have to see how change is it, If you like the short term, but it's not change, it change nothing, Your SIA is, I want to say it's useless, but it's not, maybe you have to take some time more. You have to see how change is it for your community, for your development or whatever. Sometimes, for my project, maybe I take about maybe 3 years, 2 or 3 years at least. I want to see how change is it. If nothing change, if in short term is nothing change, we cannot calculate the SROI. But if you see next year or the third year, it's gonna be change, or something change, you can ask your stakeholder if something change. Maybe it's okay, you can do it.
Yeah, so it also depends on the duration or the period of the project, right?
Yeah, how change is it? I wanted it depends on the project. If your project, is in short term, but you can see the change. It's okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'm clear now. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So for another question coming from Jahda Agnia Mahmuda. So maybe please
Thank
you
you,
can.
Rosa, and good evening, Professor Wasan. I have a question about specifically about my venture. So my venture is providing online bootcamp. We are trying to overcome the unemployment rate in Indonesia, and also we are trying to reduce the carbon emission through that bootcamp training program. So the question is, if I have that two outcomes, should I have or should I separate the SRI and the TOC as well, or do you have any preparation ideas?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Maybe your project, you have done many things. But for my idea, if you have like you can separate or you can include as well. Because if just maybe you have done for one thing, it cannot make outcome. But if you do many things, in your projects, you can include all of them and calculate SROI, or you can make it in outcome as well.
Okay, so the report will be in the same report, or should I
Same.
separate? Okay.
It should be the same.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor
Yeah.
Wasan.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think we still have time for one or two questions. If you guys want to ask Dr. Wasan, please raise your hand. Yep. If not, we can close the session tonight.
Glad to see all Changemakers today. And
So
I really want you to, yep. Okay, you go on.
yeah, still. Hello, guys? Okay, if not, I will ask you, Doctor. Okay, I have a question. Okay, so you mentioned before about theory of change, right? So how do you ensure that the outcomes you may truly reflect the life experiences and priorities of the communities you serve, rather than assumptions made by external funders or project designers? Yeah.
Mm, for outcome is quite difficult for me. I have measured many projects, but for the outcome, maybe I have to take some time to ask the stakeholder. I have asked many stakeholders. For one project, maybe I have asked about 50 or 60 people. Maybe, I don't get any outcome. That's why for this outcome, you have to have the method to ask them. You have to have the method. You have to have the strategy to ask the beneficiary what they get from the project. And they can reply or good or bad, it's okay. But you have to ask them. You have to ask how change is it. If outcome, it changes, you have to think about another thing that how to make it in money, how to make it in numbers, how percent that they can get to the change is it. That's why in my life, in my experience for 8 years as the SROI practitioner, it's quite difficult to calculate. Calculate SROI, but it's a good thing that I want to tell you that when I calculate the SROI and I know that okay, I invest 1 baht and I get 10 baht in for social value, I feel really good, when I get this number because I do this thing, but it can get something changed. I want to tell all of you. I want to tell all of you today. For SROI, it's something that proves you and something can confirm you what you have done. You can do many things. You can do for your society, for you can do for the unemployment for your elderly. But what proof is it that the project or your project can change their life? Maybe it's a short term, maybe it's a long term or it's medium term. But the information is so important. When you have done the project, you have to ask them directly. You have to ask the stakeholder what they get from this project. And you have to go the next step. You have to calculate or you have to do a SIA. Just SIA, I have to confirm. Just SIA is to confirm what you have done. Is every step or not? Is all input that you have put, or outcome you have put, or activity you have put, what the impact you have done for the society. But it's not enough. If you go only SIA, it just show what you have done, but you have to calculate what you do, what you have to do. I don't know that this question, this answer you or not, but I think it's my idea.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's answered very well. Thank you so much, Doctor. Okay. Yeah. So, and that brings us to the end of our final webinar session. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. So a heartfelt thank you once again to Associate Professor Dr. Wasan for generously sharing his time, genuinely answering all our questions and providing invaluable knowledge and inspiration. So yeah, we hope you are leaving this space feeling more empowered, connected, and also ready to drive meaningful impact in your community. So before we close, I think we have like important sessions like photo session together. Yeah, maybe Rival, you can guide it.
Yeah, okay, everyone, I think please turn your camera on. I want to see tired faces because of very legendary presentation by Dr. Wasan. Okay, please wait for like 20 seconds because everyone is still preparing their best shot. Okay, guys, come on. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. This is for the page 1. And do you want to change style, guys? Like fun style. Come on, give your best smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now for the Page 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Once again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Done. Back to you, Rosa.
Okay, so thank you so much again, Doctor. So yeah, see you on 31st of
31st.
May.
Glad to be.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we will meet
Glad
again
to see
in
all of
Impact.
you again.
Yeah. We can meet again in Impact Challenge. Yes. So, and to all participants, stay with us, please. So up next is our regrouping and pitching discussion with ImpactSEA team. So let's keep the energy high and end this journey. Okay, Mas Rival, go to you.
Yeah, I think you can lead, Feroza. I think we
Okay, thank you very much.
yeah.
Bye
Thank you, Dr.
bye,
Wasan.
Thank
everyone.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
Thank you ค่ะอาจารย์
ครับผม
bye.
Yeah.
Okay, Mas Rival.
Okay, so everyone, thank you for staying. I think for the next 5 minutes, I think we can gather some questions about the activities on ImpactSEA. If you guys have questions about like finding the teammates in your group or what's the activity after this, please do give us some question. We will help tonight.
If you guys want to ask something, I think it's better to raise your hand and ask directly.
Yeah, well, actually, I think I want to say about this finding teammates problem, because I think a lot of participants here find it difficulties to find the other teammates, right? So, yeah, I think someone raised.
Yeah, Parabella Tina Afika.
Lavella Tina.
Hi, thank you so much. I think the current concern with many groups, especially ours, is that we're struggling to find the right time for everyone to come together and meet and discuss. So I think the main issue is just like deciding on a theme as well as even discussing like task allocation and such prior to the pitching session. So is there like any advice, especially based on previous experiences, on how past groups were able to resolve this issue? Yeah, especially with timing and scheduling. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. So after this flagship webinar, actually our schedule is we have mentoring sessions for like the whole week from tomorrow until 30 May. And then yes, this is very intense schedule. Well, actually, it's not only from your side, guys. It's actually from our side too, because this this project was postponed for about like 2 months because of the USA things. If you guys follow the news after the President Trump giving pause to US financial aid, and this is impacted to our schedule also. Well, actually, the project should have been done. Should have done at the end of May. That's why we only have like 2 weeks from initial 3 months actually, from initial 3 months, but we shortened it because we want this event to be happen like at least for now. But I think as a change maker, we have to adapt with this situation, and I hope in the next edition of this ImpactSEA, we can really do the activity properly. But I think for now, we only have like almost 2 weeks for the whole activity. So I think this is another challenge, and that's why we're here. We want to make the rule flexible for everyone. So let's say if the problem, the first problem is you guys finding it hard, finding difficulties to find the other teammates. If you are alone in the team, let's say you are team number 24, then you cannot find the other teammates or participant, I think you can go on and represent the team 24 alone. And if you only have like 2 or 3% not completed, you can go ahead with those 2 or 3%. And if it is really hard to build new idea for your project, and if it's too difficult because the time is very very short and you find it difficult to grouping with your teammates, I think you guys can use your existing project. You guys can pitch each other. Let's say, I think for a good example is Imam here from Indonesia. I've seen his profile and Imam already have existing a very good existing project in Indonesia called Plastic Pay. So I think for now, Imam friend can help Imam to pitch this Plastic Pay idea. Somehow you can still learn from the ones who already start first than you guys. But if everyone have more feedback, you can tell the feedback here. But I think what's most important is at the end of this week, next week, we will have like 10 teams that will pitch live in the webinar in front of a non-profit foundation called Dori Fund. So we will connect you guys with real investors. So I hope in your pitch, you can also create ask for fund page. Let's say you need this sum of money for this kind of project and show that your project can be sustainable, because there is a chance that from this ImpactSEA batch, the investor already told us that she will be very happy if she can invited to be judged, and if she find any interested project in this batch, she will fund it. So I think that's the spirit that I hope you guys can bring. So at the end of this week, let's say Saturday, next Saturday, we will have the Impact Challenge. Yes, so the deadline, I read this question, 28 May 2025. Yes, so actually it's 27, 27, 23, 59, but we extended like 1 minute. So it's actually in the midnight of 28 May. So the latest video that you should submit to us is at 27 at 23:59. That's right. But I think this is also because the time is very flexible. Okay. So I think we will extend it like 6 hours. So 12 hour. 12 hours. So 28 at 12 p.m. 28 May. I think we will create another post in our social media. Yes, so the other groups will have a chance because all the videos would be selected by the non-profit foundation also. They will have all our all videos that you guys will submit. We will give the video to the founder also. Yes, so from all the 34 videos submitted, only 10 team will be invited for live page.
Okay, I think Nurul Husna raised her hand.
Okay.
Mas.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure first. So we already have ideas for our registration task, right? So we decided to which idea the best among so we choose the among the ideas, or we create a new idea, and then how far the judges want our idea. For example, it just a business model or anything.
Yes, so let me repeat your question. You guys already have like existing ideas, or do we need to create new ideas? So, yeah, I mean, you guys should decide, because the ImpactSEA objective is to open barrier between countries in Southeast Asia, right? So I hope you guys listen each other, and then you guys decide which is the most urgent problem that you guys want to pitch. But I know this would be very disappointing for some people, because maybe you have to lose your ego, or let other idea be chosen. But I think here, I hope you learn something, that you guys can collaborate, you guys can work together and pitch for the same problem that you think this is really the most urgent. And the opportunity to connect with the funder actually is not limited during this ImpactSEA. Of course, after this project, if you guys still want to be connected to the funder, we are very happy to connect you guys with a lot of funders, which is in the Philippines, in Indonesia, in Vietnam. We also have a incubator in Fulbright University at Vietnam. So we would we are happy to connect you with all these resources. But for this project, the structure and the activity is like in the guidelines. Yeah, Triana,
Not
Desi.
sure, yeah, Diana.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rival. You mentioned earlier about the investor, and may I know who's the investors and what kind of topics or solution they are most interested in supporting? Because, yeah, in our team 18, we have like many interests, and it's hard to decide. And then, for example, like, are they priority areas for this batch? Maybe such as like mental health, sustainability, or clean energy. And yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
It's too diverse, and
yeah.
it's hard to define. Yeah.
So actually, the investor came from the Philippines. The name is it's a Norwegian and Philippines joint venture. So the name is Dory Fund. It focuses on non-profit foundations, which means with social impact. But I think it's not only for non-profit. If you guys have a hybrid focus, let's say, of course, to give impact, you guys also needs to be sustainable, right? So the profit goes to sustain the social impact to non-profit. So I think it's good if you guys can show the impact of your solution. That's why all our flagship webinars are focusing on scaling locally from globally, and then how to get funding, grants, or equity funding, and then the social return of investment. So I think well-being, like mental health, is also good, but they don't see the solution only. You guys need to be more specific, like how can it sustain, and then how many impacts you guys can reach, and then how the solution is better to current condition. So I think those are the metrics that you guys need to input. And if you guys ask for some funding, ask how much the money you need and how you guys will utilize all the money. But
Okay, another one from
if you guys have like sensitive metrics, it's okay. Also, you can hide it, and then if they're really interested with your project, they will invite you separately outside this event. Yeah, Reinhard from Philippines.
Philippines.
Hello, good evening, everyone. This is also a question regarding the funding. So, is there a maximum limit to the funding, or would it depend based on the project you're going to implement? That's all.
Actually, there is no limit about asking the funding, but I think let's focus on because the Dory Foundation have behavior to fund early stages startups. I think you should match it with the usually early stages like seed funding. Let's say it starts from $100K to up to $1 million. Let's say something like that. But you have also to be very clear and specific how you guys will utilize the funding.
Okay, so Mas Rival, there is another question from Rafika. So it's like, can we do the project with other team? Because we just have 2 members. So it's like collaboration between teams, right? Is it Rafika? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think what about you, Rafika? Like the 2 members, do you guys have ideas or you want or other team member need help? I think why? Because why we won't have like 44 teams, and then we want to have like 44 ideas, guys. We want to have 44 ideas that could be submitted to the stakeholders, let's say the investors and then the universities. So the more ideas, the diverse ideas, I think it will create sparks of change in ASEAN, right? But if you're not confident enough, I think as a change maker, you have to be confident. You have to go all out and tell your solution and give solution. If you guys need help with how to create the ideas, that's why we have this mentoring week. You can ask with the mentors to refine your ideas, and then how to create good pitch deck. I think you guys can utilize this whole week. But if you guys want to share with the other team members in ImpactSEA, like to ask question, I think it's okay, right? I think changemakers should help each other, but we will limit it to your current team right now. But I think if you guys have problems, if you have if you guys have problems with your teammates, I think you can DM Febroza or Gracia in our WhatsApp group, right? Because this this is also happening back in our time in Vietnam. We were also distributed into several teams, and Febro Zafran is crying because she doesn't want to be in that team, right? But I think it's respected. I think it's good because
Yeah. It's
you,
fair,
you guys,
right?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
yeah,
If she wants to leave and looking for the same interest with her, it's okay.
You
yeah,
know, the
you-
one that leave from Rosa group come to my group. So funny.
yeah, you remember, right, Non?
And so none of us the winner, right?
Yeah, for the teammate, there's some people texted me as well about the group. So for my suggestion, if you okay, maybe you have like 3 or 4 out of 5 people in the group already, and there is only 1 or 2 people respond. So please go ahead and do it, because this project is require a lot of leadership. So this is the time for you to practice and learn and being a good leader in the community. So this is like the first start of your learning and for your experience in the future. So you just start and do it. Don't waste the time, because if you require, okay, this project is quite tight. We we know that, right? But in real life, you also have this kind of problem
Right.
when you're doing the business, when you do your work. So there is a limited time.
Yes.
So just do it and then solve the problem you have. Go ahead. If you want to ask or need any help, just contact us. And also, please feel free to book the mentoring session to ask the question. If you have lots of questions, yeah, just let it out and then you go and book and talk to them. Whatever you want to talk and discuss more. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Non. So I think there is a question also coming from Yulia Viani Miranti about mentorship, right? Okay. Ranti, you can go ahead about the mentorship.
Okay. Wait. I have a question about the mentoring session. If me and my teammates have difficulty matching the mentoring session schedule, can we choose different schedules according to our respective free time? Or it must in group with our teammates?
No, I think every team have up to 3 times to schedule mentoring. So I think you guys can book. You have 3 quotas, right? You can book the first and then second and then the third different time. It's okay, but that's also limited to the mentors availability, because not all mentors have the same availability. So you should book first come, first serve. So it's
Okay.
something like that. So better you book the schedule in advance before the availability is running out.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone want to ask about mentorship session or still have questions, guys? Okay. I think it's already okay, Mas.
Yeah, Okay, so after this, we will send you several forms. The first one is to submit the video, the pitch video, and then the other one is the ImpactSEA quiz. So we have some sort of quiz where there are going to be like 20 questions. So this is to determine whether you guys finished all the learning modules or follow all the webinars. And if you guys can pass it, then we can deliver the certificates to you guys. So I think there are 2 forms after this. Yeah, I
So
think that's all.
sorry, Mas. Sorry if we are not passing the score that the ImpactSEA gave us, so we don't get the certificate. Is it correct?
Yeah, but they can reattempt, of course. You guys can reattempt. You have unlimited attempts, guys. We want everyone get certificates, of course.
Yes. Okay, do you guys have any question?
Yeah, I think from Philippines, Jason.
Jason.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding the project. How about it will came from a project, a research from the university that I came from. Then from that university, we will be generating a project.
So it's like your thesis, you mean, or something?
Yeah, no, it is my research in the university, and then from that research, we will be coming up with every project.
How much?
I cannot get the question. Can you tell again the question?
So it's like the research under the research institute in university, or how?
No, in my own research, we in the university that in the Philippines, we are generating a research. Then from that research, we will be coming up a project that could suit to some of the webinars that we'll be being viewing for the past days.
So I mean, it's if compared to Indonesia, it's like thesis project, right? So before you graduate, you finish this research, something like that.
Yes, before you have this kind of certification, you need to finish the research. Then from that research, we have some issues and problems to be addressed. And then from those issues and problems, we can come up with a project.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's like our thesis for the skripsi in Indonesia.
You can talk with your teammate. If they are okay to do that, that would be great. Yeah, that's all. For the ideas, you don't have to like think the new thing. If your group, like with your teammate, have the same problem and idea, it would be great, right? But with different background, so you have like different interests and different idea. So just choose one that suits you the most, that you can create. Like, what is the problem? What how you can solve this problem? What is the business model or whatever that? How about the budget that you need to solve all kind of this stuff, things like that. So yeah, for my suggestion, you can talk with your teammate on this. If they interested in doing that project, we okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Any other question? Okay, go ahead, Triana.
Thank you so much. Actually, I just realized that I'm not able to log into ImpactSEA.org website, and then I already submitted a forget password request like 3 times, and but haven't received the reset password email. Maybe Could you guys please assess me and thank you in advance?
Yes, I think you can DM me on WhatsApp after this, Triana. I can help you to regain back your access to the platform. I will help.
Okay, thank you so much.
Anyone have this kind of same problem with Triana?
Yeah, if you guys have a technical problem regarding the platform, you guys can contact me in WhatsApp or just chat in the group.
Yes. Wow. We stay together until 9:12 already. Woo. Can I take like a photo together? Can you go? Can you turn on your camera? I want to capture like all of us together late night on Sunday, ready to study or work tomorrow.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay,
yeah.
count.
Okay. Rila can help cap screen. I will take with my my phone.
Oh, so two versions.
Two versions. Yeah. Okay, everyone, smile. Okay. Okay, someone
Alright.
just turn on the camera. Okay. So waiting a few seconds.
Oh.
If you guys want to take a photo together tonight, so I'll post on the story.
Come on
that
now.
we stay late night on Sunday.
Okay.
One. Are you guys ready? Okay, wait for a few seconds. Okay.
Done?
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, go to the next page.
Oh.
Only third one.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. The last one. Again. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, so if no more question, maybe we can close tonight's session, right?
Yep.
Okay. So thank you so much, guys, for our final webinar session and also regrouping and mentorship discussion. So yeah, fighting
Go
for your...
ahead and do it.
Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, team.
Thank
Take care,
you.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.